Hi, I'm John Connell. I'm a global artist ambassador for Phoenix 360, and I'm joined today by the musical artist KEON Torres. Hey, KEON, how are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, sir? How are you doing on this lovely evening?
I am doing great, man, and it's great to have you here. Thanks for being part of the Phoenix 360 family. I wanted to share, KEON, if we could, one of the tracks that you have available up on your YouTube channel. And if that's cool with you, I'd like to turn them on to a little bit to socialize. Sound good?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do
Okay,
it.
great. Okay, everybody, tune in to KEON Torres's Socialize.
Smiles, you crazy for this one. This is the collision I face, so fuck religion and race. We descended from aliens who are living in space is what I hope to find. Even if my telescope is blind, being that I'm ignorant, with an open mind, waiting for a rope to climb out of the underground, so I can run around to bring heat like I put the sun with sound. To shoot it up with the gun I found, but I'd rather smarten up than dumb it down. People, I swear, when people don't share, I think people don't care. So when I spam your Facebook, I'm trying to keep people aware that I'm not your typical rapper other people compare. Cause my people, I'm rare. Now you can't keep it real if they took the fake shit. If they took it, I take it. Back in the era when it was easy to make it, but nowadays you gotta be a thought on Instagram who is naked. Come on.
Hey, KEON, really cool, man. Very powerful. And I really appreciate it. And thank you for letting us share. And listen, I wonder whether or not you might tell us, where are you from? And tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that track, Socialize, and your journey as an artist.
Well, I was born and raised in New York City, Harlem World to be exact. I'm a Harlem kid. And it's just that track, Socialize. It's funny. That track was actually made by mistake. And come to find out, it became one of my biggest songs on Spotify. Like it has over 27,000 organic streams. And it's just
Wow.
crazy. That song. Yeah. So that song was literally a mistake because I was just going to use it for a performance like cut for one of my shows with my DJ. Shout out to DJ Smiles. And, him and I were just like messing around with it. And I was like, wait, I could actually add more lyrics to this song, to this beat. And it just became a full track. And now it's like literally one of my biggest songs ever streaming on all DSPs.
I love it, man. Well, you know what I mean? The title in and of itself, I think, draws people in, you know what I mean? And then they discover how awesome it is. So that's cool. I really appreciate it. Hey, listen, how about this? Growing up as an artist, when did this first impulse come through you? Your soul's calling in a way to create music. Did it start at a young age?
Yeah, a very young age. I started this in 8th grade as a joke
Okay.
at first with one of my friends. Shout out to Daffy. Him and I were in math class, and we were just like listening to a bunch of like Ludacris songs and Eminem songs, and also Lil Wayne songs. And him and I was like, "Hey, I think we could do this." So we went back to his place and we recorded on like old tape recorder, and we just started just rapping over an old tape recorder. Then eventually we just started like googling like different recording studios, and that's when we actually started getting serious. And from there, we're studio junkies. We're in the studio literally every day, like after school or just like during the weekend. So since then, music just became part of my life, and it's who I am today.
Oh, KEON, that is really cool, man. And listen, that's why I asked about, whether or not it started when you were a kid, because typically that's what happens is there's some form of spark. And then there's also typically some form of encouragement, some mentor or whatever that said, you really should do this or recognize some talent and inspiration that you have and then encouraged it. So I wonder, was there any mentor like that you had in your life that was pushing you, either a family or friend or teacher?
I didn't have any mentors till way later on, till I was 19, when I started actually performing like at open mics and doing my own shows. Shout out to Michael Geffner. He's actually he used to be a sports journalist, and then he ended up creating his own like open mic series. And then from
Awesome.
there, I used to just like go to his open mics like literally every week and just perform there. And that's how I like found myself as an artist and also as a performer. Because when it comes to performing and then recording, it's two different, totally different worlds. And I
Right.
fell in love. Yeah. And I fell in love with performing, and that became more of who I am. And I just love entertaining like a big audience. It doesn't matter where. And to the point where I remember one year I even started performing on the subway in New York City with my friend. He played guitar, sang the hook, and I just like rapped one of my original songs. And it was just amazing. And
we made decent money. I'm just saying, we made okay money. Don't worry, I paid my taxes, but we made decent money. And like, yeah, and that was like, you know, from there, I was just like, oh man, I love this. And then I started doing my own shows with my DJ, and we started like selling out like different venues all over the tri-state area. Yeah, and it was just like music overall, you know, as far as recording and performing, it just became who I am. And it's my number one passion. It's my first love overall.
Keon, that is really cool. And you know what I mean? And I have been also at times in the New York subway when I've engaged some musical act that was down there and turning everybody on. And it is so inspiring to hear that echoing chamber, you know, and blissful music pouring through it. So, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall when that was happening, when you were up there doing it. But it's so cool that you also feed off the energy of the crowd. It's the audience and their reactions that really make, you know, fill your soul. And I think that's also really powerful and obviously comes through in your music. So, you know, thanks for that. Now, listen, how about this? Who are some of your musical influences? What are other artists that you dig that have helped to create your kind of sound too?
Oh, good question. So I have like different genres of like influences. As far as hip hop, Eminem, Nas, and Tupac are my top three. Eminem is the reason why I started doing music. His life and my life were very parallel as far as like growing up situation. So he really added the spark to me to really take this serious and take my career as a music artist to the next level. But as far as other artists in different genres, there's also Fiona Apple, Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, Green Day. I'm a huge Green Day fan. And just like, I took all those different elements from different genres and just added to who I am today as an artist.
That's beautiful. That blend or that meritage is really powerful, man. You know what I mean? Some of the artists you mentioned as well, I mean, they're so dynamic. And so when you consider that, you know, weaving together some of those dynamics, it's really intense and powerful and cool. I really appreciate it, Keon. Okay, so how about this? Like, you know, what do you do to fill your soul? If you ever get blocked or you have a problem with, like, you know, it creatively flowing, what do you do to replenish yourself?
Well, I love hiking. I'm a huge nature guy. I love hiking in the outdoors. You know, it clears my mind. I also love traveling, just traveling to different cities and just, you know, seeing like different cultures out there and like how they flow. And I just like, you know, I adapt instead of just like, oh, I feel out of place. No, I just adapt into that environment and make it like perfect example. Like when I went to Miami, I saw like the sound in Miami was totally different from the New York sound. And I just like fell in love with like a Miami energy, and then just, it inspired a lot of like the new music I have coming out soon. So it's just very interesting to see the different cultures and backgrounds to inspire me and just like step out of my comfort zone. And I always tell every artist, just step out of your comfort zone to evolve and grow and reinvent yourself.
Oh man, I really appreciate that. I love the fact that you connect with nature in that way, you know what I mean, out in those, you know, wild spaces, and also those markets and the different aspects and dynamics of those markets and the culture of a city that's different from New York, and feel connected to it, feel related to it, even if you're not from there. You know what I mean? Because we're related to all living beings and all this energy. So that's where the art comes from, the source. So I really appreciate and also resonate with feeling the same way as you. When I travel to a market, I really am in awe and I really appreciate, and I can feel you doing it too. So thanks for that, brother. So what do you got coming up that we should expect coming down the pike on your social media channels?
So I have a music video coming out. It's called We Are. It's featuring this amazing singer and a good friend of mine. His name is Stephen Lyons. And that song is just very powerful. It's like a stadium record. It's like it's meant to be performed at a Coliseum because his voice is amazing. It's already out on all digital streaming platforms, but the music video itself is coming soon to YouTube.
Oh, good. Well, we're going to be looking for that, you know, and I really appreciate sharing some of your content today. I want everyone to tune in to KEON Torres social media channels. You'll find below, and we will look forward to having him coming on Phoenix 360 soon. And thanks so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate you, Keon.
Thank you, man. This was amazing. And I can't wait, you know, to link up with you again and just talk more music and the arts overall.
Me too. Thanks, brother. You take good care. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Harlem World. A genius in disguise.
Genius.
Everybody else is everybody else. Everybody else is everybody else.
Everybody. Josh on a fucking beat.
Everybody else is everybody else.
Come on.
Except me, I'm just trying to be myself. Everybody else is everybody else. Except me, I'm just trying to be myself.
Come on.
Everybody else is everybody else. Except me, I'm just trying to be myself. Everybody else is everybody else. Except me, I'm just trying to be myself. Must I stressing out? Like what am I stressed about? Is it so many artists are in and I guess I'm out? Just need more to believe in me and less to doubt, so they can realize I'm the best of South compared to the rest of South, or the mess of South. When I should've swept this out to get this out. While the bees in the trap, you can see on a map, like a flow sick of disease in a rap. Now I'm letting that hip-hop culture know this is my huge ship on my shoulder flow. Try to win blow for blow with a hard coat of snow. Waiting for my soul to glow after I sold the show, by keeping X's in the files like the Scully and Mulder show. To let that sculpture grow by moving this boulder slow. To prove beauty isn't in the eye of this, but hold the hoe, it's on the prize since I'm on the rise. And if I don't fit in, I still put on the side.